We're going to take it from the top. We're going to break it down into several layers of these things. By the way, before we begin, I also want to take a moment to congratulate all of you guys who joined the Mastering Price Action 2.0 last quarter. The reviews are starting to come in. I'm really, really happy to see those reviews. Now you got a taste of what is possible in your journeys just started. So, I get glad whenever I read these reviews. So keep up the good work. And I'm very happy for your progress, all of you guys who have started just less than 3 months ago. So good work there. Okay, so let's get started. So we're gonna break this up into few pieces. Okay, piece number one. Now, the reason why this is such an important piece, because everyone is raring to go, that they always mess up, they fall, and the journey just becomes 50 times longer. Maybe 1,000 times longer. You get what I mean? Now, if the question is, for example, surgery, okay, we're just going to use a medical surgery, for example, and you see a doctor basically doing this, let's say this is the body, and the doctor takes a knife, and then he cuts here, and then he removes something out of the body, and then he restitches it back up and says, we're good. The patient is healthy. And then there's an invoice that comes along with that says $300,000. Right? So now what most people see is they see the $300,000 and wow, it took him only 15 minutes to do that surgery and $300,000. I am going to learn exactly how he cuts open and how he stitches. That's all I'm going to study. Do you agree with why it's important to talk about this first topic here? If your doctor has trained only to cut open and stitch you back up, do you want him to do surgery on you? Right? You want to learn all the elements around it. Okay, what is this for? Why are we doing the surgery? What benefits does it have to do it this way? Should we even be doing it this way? Why is this patient even here? All of these elements play a role. So we can't just be focusing on this piece right here. How was the surgery performed? You're asking the wrong question. You're asking the wrong question. If you focus on how constantly and you don't know what is this about, it's a slow death of little by little, account will be wiped out, if not quickly. Okay, little by little, account will be wiped. So let's go back to what is this all about? So what is happening in the industry you're on? For this particular example, we're using FX, right? We're going to use the Forex market. And we're going to talk about, well, what is this all about? And where do you come in as a trader? Okay. Do you understand the role of a trader? What is a trader supposed to do apart from thinking only about himself and trying to make some money? What's a trader's job? Why was that role invented to begin with? Okay. It is to allow an individual to partake in risk. Let me emphasize on that word again. It is to allow individuals to partake in risk in order for him or her to make money from the markets. Now, the key word is to partake. Do many of you guys know what the word partake means? It means to be involved in, to join in on, basically. Yeah? So now, when does this risk come? When does this risk come? So this is something we need to understand. Okay, so now, the game that you're being involved in is a game of transactions. The game has always been about transactions, whether you're financially looking at it through a monitor or you're looking at it out in the real world. The game has always been about transactions. Okay, now what does that mean? When you hear the word transactions, how many of you guys in this room think of, oh, you mean $4.95 for a banana, $2.85 for a apple, and 65 cents for a candy? You mean those transactions? Is that what's going through your mind when you think of the word transaction? Okay, so I'm gonna use another word for you. Transactions or deals. Deals. This is an important thing to understand. This is not just in the material and the markets that you're dealing with, in the FX markets, in the stock markets, in the crypto markets, or in any markets that you're dealing with, but it's also in the real world as well. In the real world as well. It revolves around this. It revolves around this. Now, many people are unaware of this because there is a lack of, let's put it, financial literacy around this, right? Okay, so far so good. Are you guys with me? You guys catching on that the game is all about transactions and deals, or transaction, not the one on a receipt, not that transaction, but in other words, deals. Now, what is a deal? What is a deal? Let's start with there. Let's work backwards. What's a deal? What's a deal mean to you guys? Okay, what's a deal? A deal is something that is worth buying, but it's available at a good price. Let me repeat that. A deal is something that is worth buying, but that is available at a good price. Okay? It does not mean because I traded Swiss franc yen, Swiss franc must be the deal. That's incorrect. You're working in the wrong direction. Because you traded something doesn't make it a deal. You need to do it the other way around. You need to trade what is a deal. Does that make sense? We're going to work around that. I want you to grab onto that word deal and start working backwards. Start working backwards from there. That's going to be your pinnacle, your starting point. You're going to work from there. So what's a deal? What's a deal? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, let's say this is you, okay? This is you. Now, I'm going to give you a nice smiley face because you're a positive person. And I'm going to give you some super cool, funky hair because whether you're a guy or a girl, that hair is pretty cool. So keep it, okay? Now, when you're looking as an individual, I'm going to just change the word. I'm going to change the word and I'm going to remove this. For the time being, I'm going to remove that out of the picture and I'm just going to make you focus on a certain element. So let's, for time being, put you in real estate. Okay? Everybody understands housing because at one point or the other, either you've bought a house or someone you know has bought a house or someone you know wants to buy a house and wouldn't stop talking about it, right? It's one of these three always, right? Okay. So real estate, okay? Especially after the boom that we've had in the last 10 years in real estate, someone or the other is always talking about it, right? Okay, now, this is you, and you do real estate. Now, your understanding of deal is basically there's 1 billion houses on the planet, all across the world. You have in your pocket here, if I open that pocket up, you have 1 million, for example. Okay, you have 1 million spare that's available. Okay, that's your investment capital. That's the one where you're like, how do I make this pot of gold explode, right? I want to make this 1 million to 2 million to 4 million to 5 million. I don't want the 1 million to become 500,000. You know, that's the last thing I want. So what do I need? There's so many houses to buy. Which one do I buy? Or do I just show up at the nearest auction and say, I'll take that one. That looks good. I'm bored. I just got home from work. I'll buy that house. Have you seen anyone do that? They just come home from work saying, I'm so tired. What house do you got? I'll take it. Is that smart? Now tell me, is that any different than what's going around in the Forex market when anyone just says, I want to make some money, and they come around and says, I think Euro USD is good. I'll buy it. It should go up. I think Swiss franc looks good today. I'm going to sell it. It should go down. Why? Why? You understand what I'm saying? Is everyone with me so far? Is everyone starting to catch my drift, what I'm trying to tell you guys? It has nothing to do with just because it's there, you should trade it. So you got to get that out of your mind. But just because it's available 24 hours a day, it doesn't mean you need to be there and there's opportunities all day, every day in that one particular product. You have to be careful. You have to find, where is the deal? Where is the deal? So now, you as a real estate individual, I'm going to allow me 3 more minutes to dive deeper into this, and then we'll move on to the next phase, okay? Now, as a real estate individual, your focus is now going towards, where the heck is the deal? Okay, where is the heck is the deal? And how do I make more of my money? Suddenly you get a phone call and you're like, listen, Naveen, or listen, Bob, let's say that's your name. Listen, Bob, there's a bunch of millionaires moving over to Dubai, and they're specifically interested in the Palm Islands. You know, that islands that are shaped as a palm tree. There's a bunch of millionaires relocating to there. Why are they relocating there, you say? And you find out, you do some research and you say, Dubai has recently opened their visa criteria to people who work from home. They've opened their visa criteria to every millionaire that comes in. They're going to give them 10-year visas. You're like, that's interesting. So that's going to attract a lot of high stakes individuals. This is not a guess from your size. This is real data. This is not because I think there's 4 Starbucks there, it must be good. Not like that, please. Okay, you understand, right? Don't just guess. Use real data. Use real data, use real research. Once you understand all this thing and you're like, when is that law going to be passed that's going to allow all these millionaires to start coming in? Not only just that, with the unfortunate situation that's happening between Russia and Ukraine, everyone seems to be moving to Dubai. Are they moving in? Are they bringing their cash with them as well? Interesting. Well, I'm currently in real estate in the USA. Time to say bye-bye, USA. Hello, Dubai. Because I see an opportunity for a deal. The law is going to be passed in 2 years from now. I see that there is a potential that is coming, and I get to position myself. That's a deal. That's a deal that you're working with. So do you understand what I'm talking about, right? Now, in this whole process, did you see me do anything like this? Did you see me do anything like this? And saying, that's why we buy, because a line has been crossed. You didn't see me do anything like that, right? Because that's not how deals work. That's not how people flow their money around. You have to understand that. Did you know a technical chart is a representation of human behavior? So if you want to do good in technical analysis, which many of you guys are actually proficient in technical analysis, never let me take that away from you. You guys are good at technical analysis, but you seem to have a lack of understanding of, why is it there to begin with? What does it represent? Let's study that first. Suddenly your technical analysis will become 50 times sharper. You'll start to realize that technical analysis now is like a gold mine for you. But without the knowledge of why am I using it, it's useless. It's actually useless. It is just a drawing because you don't know if it's a deal or not. Does that make sense? Okay, so far so good? Yes, yes. Can you guys give me yeses or thumbs up so I know you guys are following along? Every time you guys understand, you guys can either like the video or you guys can put a fire icon, which means you really understood it, a thumbs up for you're following along, and a heart, which means you just had an aha moment. Yeah? So this way, I know you're paying attention. I know you're paying attention. I'm watching you. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next piece. If everything is about deals, and now let's come back to the FX market. Because I use the real estate to give you an example for you to understand. Okay, for you to understand. Now, what tells you a deal is hot? What tells you a deal is hot? Before I give you the example and how it works in trading, let me ask you this. Do you know Amazon? Have you shopped on Amazon before? Have you bought a TV before in your life? Have you bought a fridge before in your life? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Did you just buy whatever by just walking into the nearest store and saying, I'll take that. I don't know what it is. I'll buy it. What did you do? Tell me exactly what you did. What made you buy it? You looked at the reviews. You saw the ones that had the most reviews. And you saw the ones that had the highest and most reviews as a combination. You read the reviews and you saw someone else said good things about it that made you want to buy it. And then you're like, the deal must be hot. After all of that stuff, you also saw there's a discount following it. So the deal must be hot. Everyone is getting in on this. It must be good. It must be good. So you used the public's understanding of a particular item to reduce your workload of saying, I don't need to do all the work. They did all the work for me. This must be the best. I'll buy it. Does that make sense? This is similarly, hopefully, given the reviews are not fake. We're dealing with a lot of that nonsense these days. But given that the reviews are official and they're real, this is how generally people respond. If the price is very low and the reviews are bad, I don't care how low the price is, you're not going to buy it, right? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. So now, if you keep those things in mind, you're doing the same thing in trading. But in trading, all you're doing is technical analysis. Where is the deal? Where is the deal? This is how you find the deal in trading. If you're dealing with euro, okay, I'm just going to give you a set of rules and you're going to have to accept my opinion on this. Okay, let's put it that way. You're going to have to accept my opinion on this because for the sake of time, if I go into explaining every little detail, we'll need 30 hours together. Okay, minimum. Okay, so let's say you like euro. Okay, let's say on the news today at 12, there's a euro news. Okay, what it is, forget about it. Don't worry about it right now. Then at 1:30, there's a euro news. Then at 2, there's a euro news. So it seems like they're going to be talking about euro, right? Okay, so if euro seems to be on the spotlight for today, what happens is, let's say the news comes out and this is the price and this is where the news came out. What happened? Nothing. Next news comes out. What happened? Nothing. Just because a news came out doesn't mean you respond. A news came out, nothing happened, means there is no deal on the table that people want. Stand by. Now, if you want it, I want it, Lisa wants it, Sally wants it, and if we all buy with our $10, $20 of investment, that price is not going to move. So forget about Lisa, John, Bob, and Harry. What you want is the deal flow from the larger players. You don't want deal flow from Lisa. You don't want deal flow from Bob and Larry. You want deal flow from the large corporations that says, that's the one we want. We want it now. Okay, next news comes out. Okay, this news event happens here and the price does this. Now, this tells you your first clue, intention. It tells you your second clue. If it stabilizes, it tells you direction. These are important pieces for you to understand. Is there a deal on the table? As of right now, all I know is intention and direction, but no deal yet. No deal yet. But I do know this is like that Dubai thing happening. Everyone is heading there. That's where the action is. That's where the money is. Now we come in as traders and saying, where do we fit into this? How do we get a deal from this? Where is our opportunity to make money from this? Up until this point, anyone who's activating anything in that area is simply shooting himself in the foot, and everyone on all the floors below, right? It's just a losing game to play that. That is a liquidity game for unfortunate people who are just thinking of, I want to play liquidity and fight the algorithms. Good luck. Okay. Now, with a launch this way, you've got the intention, you've got the direction. Now, I want you to think this way, okay? There's two sides of thinking that comes along with this. Side number one, okay, this is the bad thinking. Here's the bad. Always remember this. What's the bad thinking? I missed it. I missed it. That's the bad. That's the uneducated thinking. I missed it. The second thinking, the good one, this is now I know. Now I know. Okay, now I know. What that means is it's telling you their intention right now. Okay, you don't know anything about a deal yet. It's telling you their intention. Now, let's move on to the secondary piece. Up until this point, yes, everything good with you guys so far? I am just getting the tip of the iceberg right now to make sure for those of you guys who are new and really beginning and you're stepping into trading in 2024, I really want you to start right so you can avoid going through the pitfalls of 5 or 10 years of stumbling upon this accidentally through losses. That's a very painful way to learn things. However, you will learn it. If you just give it time, you will learn it. But if you can avoid it, then that's better. My mentor used to say this one saying, which I really, really love, is a smart man learns from his mistakes. An intelligent man likes to learn from others' mistakes. I thought that's a fascinating quote. That's a fascinating quote. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay, now moving forward. Okay, up until this point, you guys are saying yes, perfect, perfect. Now let me start cleaning all this area up since you guys have this fine. Okay, we're gonna go into this for another 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we'll move on to the charts. I can promise you, for those of you guys who are watching this live, I can promise you this. I promise. If you watch back the recording, the most watched part of the video is going to be the part that has a chart on it. And I promise you, these are the ones who are not going to make it because they're looking for, what's the answer? I just want to know the answer. This is the meat. You miss this meat, everything else is a waste of time. If you mess up here, nothing else matters. Okay, you can be the best cutting surgeon, the best stitching surgeon, but if the person says, "Doctor, my toe hurts," and you cut open his stomach, oh, okay, you get what I'm saying. So learn of what you're getting involved with first, before just learning how to do whatever. Okay. Okay, now let's take a look at this now. Now that you have the intention, and now that you have the intention, and now that you have the, what was I calling it? Direction. Sorry, intention and direction is fit. What this represents, what you need to understand is what this represents. Sorry, is demand. Okay. Now, again, I need to rewire your brain for what the word demand means. Many of you guys, when you see the word demand, what goes through your mind? Oh, drop, base, rise. That must be demand. So I need to draw a box here. No. Please, no. Let's rewind that thought process and let's delete that from your mind. Okay. What a demand basically means is there is 40,000 people with a bunch of money saying, based on whatever Euro news that just came out, I want this. If I want this, you want this, Bob wants this, Sally wants this, the big corporations wants this, what's going to happen is we're going to fight. How do we fight? Not physically. How do we fight? I'll give you this price. The next guy says, forget that guy, I'll give you this price. The next guy says, forget both of them, I'll give you this price. What I want you to remember from this launch of a move is majority didn't get filled. This is the moment that you need to understand these words that I'm saying. Majority did not get filled. F-I-L-L-E-D. No. No. No fill. Okay? I hope that sinks in. Let that sink in. And this is your critical turning point in your career. They didn't get filled. So if they didn't get filled, what are they going to do about it? This is where you come in. This is where you come in. This is where the deal is now being watched by traders like us. So I'm going to say, this is you now. You are here at a distance with a telescope. Okay? That's you in a distance with a telescope. You're watching very carefully and you're like, you're interested. You just noticed, wow, look at that craziness over there in Euro. I can look at the whole world. I'm not interested. I'm interested in what just happened to Euro. After this explanations, you'll start to understand why when you look at your CNBC or Bloomberg and stuff, why they always talk about the biggest movers or the biggest losers. There's an importance there because that shows you where the deals are flowing. That shows you where the deals are flowing. Remember that. It's important. You don't just join anything. Okay, you don't trade anything just because you can. Okay, that's not the right way to trade. Just because you can does not make it right. Okay, now, so far so good. So you are watching it very, very carefully, and you're saying, if they really want it, I want to see. I want to see. Now, tell me one thing here. If you see price immediately afterwards doing this, tell me about the intentions of the people. Do they want it? No. Doesn't seem like they want it, does it? Why is it dropping? Why is the price crashing down? If they don't want it, you don't want it. So you say, cancel. The deal is off. Something is wrong. The demand has disappeared. What am I going to do with buying it? What am I going to store the Euro in my locker in my house? I don't need it. I need to turn a profit from it. I don't really need it. So if the demand has disappeared, it's not a deal. I need the demand to be there. So what that looks like in technical analysis terms is this. Okay, what that looks like is this. You get a jagged move down. You get a jagged move down. Okay, you get a jagged move down. Now, as the jagged move comes down, you are now watching this with extra excitement because now a deal is developing. A deal is developing because you know this is something people want and you know you're about to get this at a better price. You finally have something you can call a deal. You've never been able to call a deal of anything before in the past. You now have something you can call a deal and saying, I want to see what I can do with this. If I can buy this at a decent price, I can sell it to all of these people who desperately want it at a premium price. At a premium price. Does that make sense? Is it starting to make sense to you? Tell me for those of you guys who are on the younger side of things, okay? And this also goes with many of you parents who have younger kids. Now, those of you guys who are on the teenager side of things, or probably in your 30s and you're fans of video gaming systems, you stand in line outside the stores to get the first day of when it's released, right? The new PlayStation, the new Xbox, the new whatever it is. You're standing in line suffering to buy 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of those things, right? Why? Because you're getting it at the best price possible, because you know you just need one for yourself because you like it, and you can come home, put that thing on eBay and sell it for $2,000 more, and people would still buy it. Have you seen this happen? All of you guys, whether you understand video game consoles or not, have you seen that happen? Whether it's with iPhones on the day it comes out, or it's with PlayStations and all that stuff, have you seen this happen? If the answer is yes, you've seen this happen, I want to change that deal ever so slightly and saying, try doing that 1 year later. Will it work? 1 year later, you're still buying it at the price you bought it from the store, but you can't sell it for $2,000 anymore. The demand is gone. Your job, your role is now obsolete. You have nothing to do as a trader in between. That is illogical to now participate in it. Is this starting to make sense? What you do in real life, you already know. You need to apply those tricks in your charts. I'm just going to show you, based on what you already know, you have to start to bring that evolution back into your trading, and we slowly draw it for you and tell you, why does it look that way, and how do you need to take advantage of it? Because that's your role. So far, so good? Making sense? Yes, yes? Okay, good, good. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Now, as the discount is coming in, okay, this is called the discount phase. Okay, as the discount phase is coming in, everyone's looking at this and saying, come on, let me see what's the best deal I can get. And then suddenly you see this out of nowhere. You see, let me draw it in a different color. You see, bam. And you're like, uh-oh, the intentions are hot. The players are back. I got to get my hands on this, because everyone's wanting to get their hands on this. The prices are going to rise again. The prices are going to rise again. If I can get my hands on whatever this price is, whatever that price is, then as things go out of control, I can sell it at a premium price later, and this difference is going to be my profit. Because if this price, let's call it $1, just to make it simple, and if price goes upwards, it's obviously going to be more than $1, right? Whatever that number is above is your profit, because you can sell it to someone you know wants to buy it. You know wants to buy it, because they have a whole different reason for needing the euro than you think. Okay, they have a whole different operation for why they need the euro. Not everyone is looking to become a trader in their life. Not everyone who buys euro is a trader, right? People travel, they exchange money, interest rates move around. What am I going to do with all my European properties? I got to sell them off. I got to move it. Not everyone is looking to be a trader that gets involved in euro. You need to understand that. Okay? So you are able to sell at a premium because you're able to determine there's a deal on the table that I need to get good at. And your how is in this area. This is where you focus your hows. Okay, now all of this stuff so far, if you understand it, now I'm going to throw you some of the wonderful technical analysis. People will look at this and say, you know what, it went up because it's a 50% discount. Let me ask you this, based on your knowledge you have today, is that why it went up? Because it went to a Fibonacci number? Many people will say, oh, it's going up because you see, if I draw a trend line like this, the trend line broke, and from the other side of the trend line, the prices go up. It was a trend line break test. You tell me, is that why the price went up? You're smarter now. You understand things now. You understand why that design is being formed that's making all the YouTube technical junkies to say, that's why it went up. Good. Good for you. But you now know. You have a better understanding of when can I use this trend line break, when can I use my Fibonacci stuff, and when I should avoid it when there's no deals. When there's no deals. You got to be smarter. You can't just be a how junkie. You can't be a how person. You got to learn it all. You got to learn it all. And you can learn it all. Anyone telling you you don't understand this stuff, you're never going to get it, kick them. Please don't kick them. But don't let anyone tell you you cannot understand this stuff. I'm sure you can. How much of this is difficult to understand? It's not hard. I'm sure you understand this thing. Okay? If you do understand, write it in the chat. I want everyone to see that it is not difficult to understand this. Say I understand in the chat so I know, you know, and you get it. And I'm going to now move on to the charts while you type, and I'm going to show you how my team today traded the Japanese yens. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull that up. Okay. All right. All right. I'm still waiting for you guys to type. I understand. Okay, it's coming in, coming in. Sorry, there's a slight delay. That's why. Okay, good. Good, good. Give me a second here while I get the charts up for you guys. We're going to go probably 5 minutes over the top of the hour. Okay, I'm running a little bit behind, but that's okay. Okay. When you guys need to learn, you have to learn. There's nothing else matters. You got to commit. You got to commit. Okay. Good. I see a bunch of understandings. Karan, Ramao, Vito, Chi, Solly, Abid, Emmanuel, Trade with Coco, Mr. Trader, Anthony. Good, good, good. Yeah, like tons of it is coming out now. You're saying you understand. Very good. I'm very happy for you guys. Good job. Good. And guys, remember, 45 minutes into the webinar, I've opened the charts. If my predictions are correct, the most viewed part of my video is going to be from this moment onwards. I can just tell. I can just tell. But those of you guys who have watched all the way from the beginning until now, I promise you, you're going to make it 30 times faster than the rest. I promise you that. I promise you that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now, you can see from this chart, the angle is in an upward angle. Now, how steep the angle is makes a difference. Okay. Now, when I say how steep the angle is, I don't mean is this at a 30%, 30 degree angle? This means something. Is this at a 45-degree angle? Is this a no. Like, don't go too technical on me like that. What I want you to understand by the word steep is steep represents the price keeps rising. That's what steep means. Okay? If the angle is like this, or if the angle is like this, okay? Now, I want you to tell me the difference between the two. Is this an up angle and is this an up angle? On 1 and 2. They're both up angles, right? What this angle means is both of them, the price is rising higher and higher, but there's one key difference is how fast. How fast is the price rising higher and higher? The faster the price rises higher, the more you need to understand desperation in the market, the demand for it, the requirement for it is boiling hot, versus when the angle is less angled upwards, price is going higher, but the desperation is not so high because it's taking longer to go higher. So time is an element. Okay? Time is an element. So far, so good? Okay. Okay. Maya, yes, correct. How fast and at what time? Exactly. Exactly. Those two have a correlation, and those two things need to, there's a relation of those two things that tells you, if you have a child that once a year says, I want a video game. Next year comes along, I want a video game. You can tell, like, he does still want it, obviously, but the desperation must not be so high versus if that kid says, I want a video game every 2 minutes until your ears bleed, the desire. It's going to be high. Okay. You get that now, right? So the frequency of the demand, it makes a big difference. So far, so good? Okay. Now, once you understand it, so in this particular case is from the 10th till the 12th, this was catching everybody's eye. And this was not just happening in euro yen. This is happening across all the Japanese yens, Okay. In this case, since this is called euro yen, this represents, sorry. Yeah. This represents euro is getting strong and Japanese yen is getting weak. All the yens are going upwards, okay? That represents all the Japanese yens are basically getting weak across the board. Now, correlation, when I use the word across the board, what that word across the board means is euro yen up, pound yen up, Aussie yen up, New Zealand yen up, dollar yen up. That's what I mean by across the board. That means a lot of them seem to be having that same look. If a lot of them seem to be having that same look, you need to start to understand this isn't just a euro yen thing. This is a yen thing, just yen. Like the world is dumping the yens for whatever reason it might be. And you're like, aha, got it. Understood. I need a deal. Understood. I'm a trader. I'm not going to make stuff up. I need a deal. If I can get my hands on a deal, we can make some money. So how do we do that? First, we've identified the direction, the intention. Now we're on alert. Remember, that's you with your binoculars in your hand saying, I see it. Whoa. Sorry. This binocular is pointing there. Okay, sorry. So you're looking at this and you're saying, I see it. I see the demand, but I can't do anything about it. What are you not going to say when it goes up and you're not in it? What are you not going to say? I want to see if you guys are paying attention. Type it in the chat. And those of you guys who are watching the recording, say it out loud. What are you not going to say when that thing goes up and you're not in it? Ah, damn, I missed it. I don't want to hear that from you because you didn't miss it. You needed that to happen first because now you know. Now you know. And now the question begins on, excellent. Where's my deal? Where's my deal? Now that I know what the world wants, I don't got time for research. I know what the world wants. I need a piece of that action. I want a deal in something that is worth buying. That's what a trader's job is. Allowed to participate in the ongoing risk of what the world wants. Okay? That's your job. Whether you're buying a banana, a property, whatever you're doing, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Okay? Now, as prices start to come down, they hover and they start to pull in. They hover and they start to pull in. Now, how much do you need it to pull in? Now that has, remember, this is now, we're getting into the how part. Okay, we're getting to the how part. If you watch some of my, if you go through our courses, it's the fastest way. I'm not trying to plug that in as a selling point. But if you're a person who's strapped on cash, for example, then you don't need to go through the course route. Just go through my videos. The answers are there. They're not in order. They're all over the place, but the answers are there. But if you're not strapped with cash, obviously you can go to the course routes. Everything's straightly lined up of what you need to know in what order, and it's just unfolded piece by piece. And it's like next, 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 and you get hungrier and hungrier the deeper you go down the rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay. Now, as the prices are starting to come down, tell me this. There's one thing I want you to understand. I'm going to give you a little shortcut. Anything that goes upwards, think of it from a buyer's perspective. Anything that goes down, I want you to think of it not as a seller. I want you to think of it as a store owner. I want you to use this word. This is my word that I have developed for you to understand better. It's not trademarked. It's not anything like that. You want to use this, go ahead and use it. It helps people understand quickly. So you have my blessing if you have your nephew or your uncle or your auntie you want to explain this to. Store owner on the sell side, and anything that goes up, think of it as a buyer. Now, I'm going to divide half of the room, okay? Pick a letter in your mind. Letter A, you're on team 1. Letter B, you're on team. Letter A, you're on team A. Letter B, you're on team B. Okay, just pick a letter in your mind. Okay, all the A, team A, you guys are buyers. Team B, you guys are store owners. Okay? Now, if the price is going up this drastically, okay, team B, you guys are store owners, okay? You guys are the ones that are selling the euro yen. You're selling it. You're getting rid of it. You're saying, I want to sell it. I have too much. I have too much. I got to get rid of it. And team A is the buyers that says, I can't get enough of it. More, baby. Give me more. Give me more. I just want to swallow it. You know, I want to put it in my shirt, put it in my coat, put it in everything, in my underwear. Like, I can't get enough of it. Give me more. Okay. With the speed the buyers are gobbling up the euro yen, I want to ask one question from team B. Would you give a discount if you know the intention? If everyone is lining up outside your store and saying, please, you have to give me some, you have to give me some, please, would you give a discount? No. I want you to keep that in mind. This helps you understand how price moves very easily. If you keep this relationship between a buyer on this direction and a store owner on this direction, your mind will be free from thinking nonsense. It stays stable in a realm that you understand. Does that make sense? So there's no reason to give a discount. So you are tiptoeing until someone jumps back in. Tell me, did the buyers jump back in here? Okay, this is for the store owners. You give a little bit of a discount. You give a 5% discount, and you're seeing, did the buyers jump back in? You're all saying no. The buyers did not jump back in, right? All of you buyers, team A, let me ask you this question. When you saw a discount coming down at this speed, when you saw a discount coming down at that speed, would you want to buy, or would you say, hey, maybe I can get a better deal? You have to think of it both ways. You got to think of it both ways. Does that make sense? So the buyer will obviously look at the speed of that and saying, I can get more? You tiptoe again, give a little bit more discount. Buyer buys a little bit. You tiptoe, 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 bam, you drop the price. Where are the buyers? Where the damn buyers go? They were shoving it in their underwear for the longest time. Now I can't see any signs of them. You are forced to give a discount. You are forced to give a discount. Meanwhile, the trader, you, with that telescope, When you're watching, I angled it down again. When you're watching this thing, you're like, the deal is getting a discount, but no sign of the buyers yet. Stand by, Charlie. Stand by. No signs of them yet. I don't want to get involved if I do not see the deal coming back to life. Buyers are saying, hey, they're giving a discount. Let them. I don't care. Let them. I really want this, but it's on discount. Let them. The discount tiptoes its way. When the discount tiptoes its way, it's a sign of the store owner knows they're coming. It's a sign. This sign generally represents a first higher low. Okay, now I'm talking technical language. What's a first higher low? Which means if this is the lowest point, and then this is the lowest point, and then this is the lowest point. These are all lows, right? Lower low, lower low, lower low. A first higher low is when this is the lowest point and the price is higher. Okay, you don't know what a lowest point is until this portion comes out, until that right side comes out. And then you're like, wait a minute, it was doing this, and then now this? Why is that higher? What does the store owner know that I don't know? Is he seeing something? What does he see? How do I know? What's going on? What's going on? So what that essentially means is the store owner is backing off with the discounts, and team A starts gobbling up the prices, shoving it in their coats, in their pants, in their underwears, and they're buying it up. Now you tell me, Mr. Store Owners, when you see this, what are you going to do now with your discounts that you've been offering them? What kind of discounts are you giving them now? You're not going to give them a penny of a discount. You're like, I gave you a discount before. No more discount. It's over. You buy premium now. I know you want it. You buy premium. I'm jacking up the price. You buy premium. This is where you come in this sector here. That portion right there is your sweet spot. Okay? Now, remember, when you go to buy a business, when you go to buy a house, when you go to buy a banana, forget a banana. When you go to buy anything, how do you know the valuation of something? You got to find that sweet spot. Where is the spot you can get in, whether you get in here, here, where you can say, I don't care where I get in that angle and how much premium I pay in that angle. I know I can still make money. That's a position you want to be in with deals all the time, where you can say, I know no matter which one of these premium prices I pay, I will make money off of this thing. So again, reeling this in and saying, did this thing go up because this is a SNR? Did this thing go up because it's an SNR? Did this thing go up because, sorry, not this one. There's a thing in here. Where is it? I haven't used this in a while. Hold on. There it is. Did this thing go up because it's at a 50% retracement exactly? It's a mathematical phenomenon. Okay. Did this thing go up because a trend line was broken here and this is on the other side of a trend line and therefore it's a buy? And if that's what you believe in, then I want to know next time you buy a house, how many lines you drew before you said, I'm going to buy this house because on a piece of paper, I drew a few lines and the line was broken, so I need to buy the house. I want to see you do that. I want to see you put your life savings behind a line that you draw and saying, that's why I bought it. It's because it was a phenomenon. It's not a phenomenon. It has logic behind it. It's a deal. You are putting your money on the line because you understand something. If you don't understand it, your money should never be at risk. Never. Never. That's a waste of money. Don't guess. Does that make sense? So, we got a few minutes together. I want to sit here now and speak to you directly. Okay? Everything today that we discussed, you understand? Okay? Do you understand everything that we've discussed so far? Is it making sense to you? If you've understood, a thumbs up. If you've had an aha moment, a fire icon, please like and subscribe. Also, I gotta throw that in. It helps the YouTube algorithm, obviously. But what's more important is if you're gonna get into this industry, it's already, like, to be honest, look, you know this, I know this. Information, as much as there's information out there, good information is hard to come by. Trustworthy information is hard to come by. Everything that I'm telling you not for you to just study endlessly. Learn to apply it, practice it, open it up on your demo account and see how much of this logic does it click with you? Does it resonate with you? Because if it resonates with you, you can sharpen your skills better because you're excited about it. You now understand something. There is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You can finally say, I can actually make this into a career. This is not a drawing game. It's not preschool stuff that makes $1 million. It doesn't work like that. Okay? But it actually has a bit of science behind it. It's a deal-making game. So to your 2024, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to become the best deal makers there are out there. I want you to be the best trader that you can be, and don't take no from it. Don't take no for an answer from anybody. Get in there, crush it, and make sure 2024 is your year. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time. Cheers. Bye for now.